Welcome back, Line of Wealth Club, to another episode of the Line of Wealth Club podcast. We have a good one for you today. We have an interview, but without further ado, let's make sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. We're trying to reach 2,000 subscribers, hopefully by the end of the year. So make us, help us achieve that goal, knock it out. Also, I'd like to invite you all to check out our website, LatinWealthClub.com. You can sign up to our newsletter where we post a lot of informational things when it comes to politics, finance, crypto, and just things that we stand on, our morals and values, things that we might find of value to your knowledge. But with that being said, help me introduce my guest, Teddy from Teddy's Red Tacos.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, man. It is early in the morning. It is going to come out, 5 in the morning? All my podcasts come out at 5 in the morning. How are you doing today?
Amazing. Happy to be here. Grateful. Thank you for the invite.
Man, and thank you for coming, bro. Taking the time out of your day, man. You're big. You're big. I think I recently seen you do a segment with the Los Angeles Rams.
Correct.
Yeah. They were promoting, I think, like black and brown businesses or something like that. And they were like trying to like show off local businesses because I think you have a location in Inglewood.
Correct.
Right? Yes. So can you tell me how you started?
Excuse me. So it's been a while when we got started. We started back in 2016.
You know what? Before that, let's go deeper than that, man. When did you even think about business?
You know what? Ever since I was younger, I wanted to be in business.
Like what age? Like earliest memory?
High school.
Okay. Like 16, 17?
Correct.
Okay.
So my passion is cars. I love working with cars and stuff. And my dad has a background in aviation mechanics. So for some weird reason, I got pushed to get into aviation instead of automotive. So I follow that path is to make my parents happy.
Yeah.
My mom wanted me to go to school for aviation because my dad did well. And I did that, but my heart wasn't in it.
You weren't happy.
I was miserable. So I was, like I told you earlier, I was working in the airport with planes. That's the reason. That's how I ended up in Texas.
Yeah.
And I hated it. Throughout the process, going to school, I hated it because my heart wasn't in it. So something I could say is, if you're trying to go into an industry or something like that because of the money, you'll be miserable. Because money is not happiness.
Yeah.
Well,
I was gonna say kind of debatable, right?
Yeah, let me rephrase that. Well, yeah, money is good, but the things you do
with it,
right? But if you follow something that is not your heart, only because someone else told you, hey, you know what, you should get into that because it's a good business. You know what, you might not be able to succeed or be happy, and that's what truly successful really means to me. Being happy with the things you do.
And I think you're right, bro. I mean, in my eyes, success is like freedom, right? Like I want to be financially free. I don't want to worry about a bill. I don't want to worry about nothing, right? I think that's one of the goals that you know what it is. But you're right. It's freedom. It's freedom. Success is true freedom and happiness. Because to me, my happiness is freedom. Like, my happiness is to know I could wake up, and if I want to go to Disney, I could go to Disney. If I want to take a road trip to San Francisco, I could take that road trip without having to check my bank account, without having to worry about a single damn thing. Oh, is rent paid? Oh, do we need food at home? I don't want to worry about stuff like that. So I like your definition of success. When did you even start thinking, okay, I want to get out of aviation, and I want to start looking for my true success?
So something crazy had happened because when you start thinking about, hey, how can I achieve this? How can I do this? How you start asking yourself?
Yeah.
Life works in the mysterious ways.
Yeah.
So when I was in the airport working, I remember this guy came out with a DVD talking about motivation and stuff, and I heard about that DVD, and they said, hey, Teddy, watch the DVD, you can make a lot of money and this and that.
Was it a Tony Robbins DVD or something, or what?
No, it wasn't Tony Robbins. It used to be a company called Prepaid Legal Services back in the days. Pretty much you go out, I was selling legal insurance to people. Pretty much you pay a monthly fee, you subscribe to it, and I love the company because they worked. They showed me another way of life, a way that they were teaching me about books, about success, about audios, about all these mentorships that I never even heard about. I went to community college,
Which one was that?
West LA.
Okay.
So you don't get taught how to be financially independent, how to be successful, how to be a leader, none of that stuff. But in this company, little by little, they started sharing with you, hey, you can become a leader, you can do this, all these sales skills.
So you fell in love with the culture of that company.
Correct. And it opened my eyes to a whole different experience about personal development, the self-help section. It's crazy because I would make fun of people that will be reading books in the library of the self-help section.
Because you'd be like, what the hell's wrong with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my thinking was so messed up.
Yeah, that is a mess up way of thinking.
So once I started getting into that, I started dreaming and I started believing. I started reading biographies of other people that have done it. And I started believing that I could do it myself. So I was already maybe my 20s, early 20s when that happened. So little by little, I was going to conventions every year, sometimes twice a year to conventions for the company. And you see people, walking on stage and, hey, I made it. I made $100,000 for the company. Wow, that guy? And those testimonies will help me. Like, what's my excuse? I should be walking. I should be walking on stage too.
Like we're doing the same thing.
Technically, right? But once you see their habits, I wasn't doing
The same thing.
the same thing.
Yeah.
They were talking to a lot of people. They were recruiting a lot of people. And I said, you know what? If I'm able to become someone like that, I might be able to achieve something
Different.
So I would say that's some of the beginning, my career, my personal development. Even though I went to school for aviation mechanic, once I started reading those books, it blew my mind away, and it made me believe that I could do it too.
Okay.
The bad thing I did is I quit my job
Too early?
too early, got too excited.
That happens to a lot of entrepreneurs, man, in the beginning, man, is quitting and thinking, oh, I can make my schedule. Let me just go right at it, right?
Yes.
So you ran out of money
And I was jumping from one job to another
while trying to sell and build your success with the company.
Right.
Damn, bro. So talk to me about your stress level at that time. What was going through your head at that time then?
Well, I'm very grateful because I was still with my mom.
Okay.
And she would pay the bills and stuff. So maybe that was a bad thing too, because I would take in consideration that, and I was like, my mom takes care of the bills, so I'm good.
Like abusabas casi like
you could say,
yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't contribute to rent.
Yeah. Okay.
So I admit to that.
I did the same thing when I was at home, fool, so don't trip. And I would think the same exact way too. Like I'm gonna continue growing my business and collecting all this money.
But now looking back, it's like, you know what? I didn't know better.
Yeah.
But now it's different.
Yeah.
So I did that, for a couple years, jumping from one job to another, trying to do my own thing. I started a couple businesses.
Nice.
No success at all.
What was the first ideas of businesses at that time?
Just selling stuff, flipping stuff.
Okay.
Just whatever, let me
like
go
a hustler kind of thing.
Yes.
Like I buy it for this price, I'm a reseller for this size. Okay.
So I did all those kind of things.
Okay.
Then life happened, and
I'm so hard on myself, Teddy, that my waves of depression are different. My waves of depression or why am I not in a Lamborghini? Why am I not in my mansion? Why do I not have why do I not have kids and be able to maintain kids right now? Right? Like that's my mindset, and I start thinking about all that, and then I start thinking about, again, I know, like you said, right, I wasn't paying rent at home. I was starting my business. I was collecting all this money. My parents knew I had money too. Like they wouldn't ask for anything. But I remember, like, I also have this, my ways of depression also include paying back my parents, buying them a house. That's my main thing. Like, I just want to buy them a bigger and better house, cash, like them not worry about a thing, and just live there. Like, they could just Not worry about a thing. Like they like to travel, so just let them travel. Like let them waste their money on traveling instead.
That's a great goal.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a great goal.
Yeah. So that's like my whole thing. But you know, speaking about being hard on yourself, because you just told me it's a good thing. How hard are you on yourself?
You have to be very hard.
How hard are you on yourself? Like I want to know what Teddy goes through when he thinks about his goals.
So, well, it's different.
Okay.
Because I see it if you're starting a business,
Yeah.
you have to be very, very hard on yourself.
In the beginning.
You have to be focused. You have to be laser focused. You have to be on it. You have to be like military style, like
Killer.
boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. Like, hey, I don't have time to parties. Like no hanging out, no drinking,
Yep.
none of that stuff.
Yep.
Until you're like, well, I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm this. Well, until I see it. I remember this. I don't remember where I heard this. That businesses that a plane uses. I'm not sure if this is. I heard it, but I believe it.
Yeah.
I'll share with you guys that a plane uses 80% of their fuel to take off.
Oh shit.
80%. Like,
that's a lot. Yeah.
but once they're like 30,000 feet on the air, they just cruise. The pilots are just hanging out, talking to
their employees or whatever.
reading the newspaper because they already got what they wanted to be. They're just making sure. So that's how I see business. But
then what about the touchdown? What about the crash landing? Like, so yes, it could be harder on yourself to get up there, and but when you're up there, how do you maintain that?
Never forget where you came from.
Okay. I just wanted to touch on that because you could be chilling, but what if there's turbulence?
Right. Like never forget where you came from.
Okay. So just always stick to your morals and values.
Right.
Nice.
Yes, because it's easy to make it. The hard thing is to maintain it.
Correct.
If you think you made it, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm too cool for that. You know what? You're gonna hit harder than the way you came up.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah. So
it happened to me at 21.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, literally as soon as I moved out, bro, I was like, but yeah, no. So, I have to agree with you on that, man. I think one thing too about business, when you're starting up, is knowing that if you are going to do those things, to hold yourself accountable and responsible. Personally, I would go out, and I'd be partying with my cousins, but I'd get home at 3 a.m, and best believe at 5 a.m, I was washing my first car at 6. You know what I'm saying? Crudo, but I was there and I was doing my job. Is that something you think, my way of doing it, where I was still partying but I was still being responsible? Do you think someone could still do it that way, or they have to at one point cut out all the distractions?
Well, if you can, if you can do it, great.
Yeah.
Like in my case, I was, what, I wouldn't see myself worthy of drinking a beer. Like, why am I celebrating?
Oh.
Like, why am I celebrating? I'm broke. I'm at my mom's. I don't have no money. Like, what am I? Oh, let me go hang out with my boys and drink a beer and talk about how miserable I am. No. Like, let me use this time, invest this time and read a positive book, listen to a positive audio. Like, get my mind thinking, get my mind in a different kind of way rather than, just talking about how bad my week was. Like, I have no reason to be there. I will see it wasting my time when I can be investing my time.
True.
So those little habits is like, the slight edge things that you do, like, oh, it might not affect you. Oh, yes, well, I only drink a beer or two, but, throughout time, starts making a big difference.
No, you're right, man, because I remember feeling guilty at like 2 a.m, like, what am I still doing here? Right. Like, I already had enough fun, right? And it's funny because I'm still at that point where I'm 24 and I don't even go out anymore because I'm like, I'm in an apartment. I don't own a house. I don't own real estate. I don't like going back to being hard on myself, and I feel the same way, bro. I tried not to give myself self-pleasure. I try to just maintain that raw mentality of, bro, I got to go get it. You know what I'm saying? Do you think it's a difference when you're in business, when you're living with your mom compared to when you're living on your own? Like, using that laser focus and staying on the mission, do you think the scenarios could affect the way you're staying laser focused?
I believe it comes down to a turning point in your life. That you know what, I don't want to be here anymore. So for me, it was yeah, when mom was the one paying the bills, but it came down to say you know what, I don't ever want to be in this situation ever again.
Like paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, or having my mom, depending on my mom,
Yeah,
living in an apartment in East LA for 18 plus years.
the same one.
Yeah, it's pretty much since we came from Mexico. So you know what? No, I'm not going to be back in that situation,
Yeah.
and that's why I was very strict on myself. So, and you know what? Even then, we had 5 locations, and until my 5th location is when I purchased my first home.
Nice, delayed gratification. So, why did you do that? Why? Or you know what? We haven't even talked about how you got into the tacos. Are you from Tijuana?
I was born here in LA.
Okay, no,
I,
but is your
I,
family from Tijuana?
I was born in LA, and my parents from Puebla,
Puebla. Okay.
and I was raised in Puebla. And you know what's crazy? In Tijuana, a lot of the taqueros and birreros are from Puebla.
Really?
Yes.
You know what's funny? I thought birria came from Jalisco.
Yes.
Okay.
Birra de chivo,
Okay.
but we sell birra de res, beef.
Beef. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's crazy. And even though in Puebla, you don't see this kind of birria, but it's made TJ by Poblanos.
Interesting.
Very
Is there a history behind that?
Yes, it's a couple history. When some of the founders of this say movement, right? They're in Tijuana.
But they're originally from Puebla.
Correct.
But is there a reason why why gente de Puebla like got into that business in particular
You know
or
what? That's a great question. You know, I haven't even thought about it or even looked into that.
yeah, that's I think that's the first thing that came to my head is like why is it that when they migrated to Tijuana that it was like, oh, we're gonna sell birria. Like this is what we're gonna do, right?
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good question.
You know, or maybe they just worked for someone. Maybe the guy hired someone from Puebla and was like, hey, tráeme tu gente.
Hey, that's very possible.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
very possible, and it became popular.
Yeah, exactly. So, did you go to TJ to learn this, or how did that happen, man?
So, so a lot of people know my story, but the people that know that don't know my story, you know what? In the beginning, I said I did a whole bunch of businesses.
Yeah.
So one of the businesses that I was doing for a couple of years was taking and bringing stuff from Mexico. Well, that sounds kind of weird.
Yeah. He was drug trafficking, guys. Nah, we're just kidding.
That sounds very weird.
So, what were you actually importing from Mexico, man?
Oh, it's so bad.
He was a cross-border logistics.
There you go. So I will bring you were talking, like antojitos de Puebla. Like
Okay.
pan, mole, semillas, queso, no, el queso queso de bola, like the
ones you pick off, those are my favorite. Yeah.
Yes, I will bring all that stuff and I will sell it here.
Okay.
So one time I will catch a flight from Puebla to Tijuana, and that's where I met this friend. His name is Bonnie.
Like at the airport or something.
Through my cousins.
Okay.
I went. They had a taqueria, so I went there and started. They were drinking, and I met this.
Yeah, you started chopping it up and stuff. Yeah.
And we became pretty good friends. And he gave me his number and stuff. We became friends, and I had to call him one time because I needed a place to store all my
Inventory.
Yeah. And he's like, Teddy, does this business really makes you money? Like, well, I'm starting, but I'm, like, it's hard and this and this and that. He said, whenever you want to learn how to cook birria, I'll teach you how to cook birria. I think you can do very, very good. So you know what? I appreciate you for that, bro, but I'm good. I know you're doing well, but birria is not my thing. Like I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to grow my business. Right? I'm a big believer of God.
Are you Catholic?
Yeah.
Me too.
So I'm a big believer of God, and I believe in angels, and I believe God sent him to guide me in a better direction.
Like
right?
pasó por un razón.
Yeah. So you know what? Something happened that I broke up with my ex-girlfriend.
Oh,
shit. I was very depressed, and everything hit rock bottom. So I wasn't working. I didn't want to be here, to be honest. So I had two options: either go back to Puebla with my dad, or TJ, this guy that I just met. And I opted to go to TJ with this guy that I just met.
But what made you take that decision? Because I feel like people would be like, nah, I'm gonna go with my jefe. I'm gonna go with my dad.
Well, when that happened, I was in my 30s already, like 29, 30. No,
Was this a long, like a really
no,
long relationship?
no.
Oh.
But we had a kid together.
Oh.
So it went from amazing to bad to horrible to
Rock bottom.
yeah. So going back to my dad, broke to the rancho, embarrassing. You know, like
Oh, that's
because
how you felt. I seen it.
yeah, because you had no money.
Oh, shit.
How you gonna go back to the rancho broke?
Not only that, but I feel like also being born here, right? Like they're gonna see you different.
You're like depressed.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like, I'm like, I can't go back over there. So, you know what? This guy seems pretty cool. Let me give him a call. Y le marqué, hey, ¿qué onda? ¿Estás en serio de que me invitas ahí? Dice, sí, cállate, güey. All right, cool. So I took my Geo Prisma 96 and I head over there. But I was looking for a way out. I didn't went out there to teach me how to cook. I didn't care how to cook.
You wanted a distraction.
He's like, hey, this guy's cool. He likes to drink.
Oh. He said, a perfect match.
He likes to drink. I need to drink. Hey.
Hell yeah.
I can help him out in his restaurant. I could drive him around, whatever, you know. But I could be drinking.
Yeah.
That was my main goal, to drink.
I fuck with it though.
He could have been a plumber. He could have been a whatever.
As long as he has a 12.
Yeah. 24 pack maybe back then.
He's like, nah, that's too much. That's too little.
Yeah. 12 pack just for him. So I was out there, and throughout the process, he would telling me, hey, Teddy, like, come on, get your shit together. This business can pay you a lot of money. And he would, he was doing the birria, showing me the recipes. Like, man, forget it. Let's go drinking. I wasn't like, I was hurt.
Your mindset at that point is dopamine shot. I don't want to think about. I want to put all my problems, put it away. I don't want to think about it. I'd rather just feel this temporary pleasure.
Correct. So I did that, and maybe after a year, or maybe it was like around a year, I decided to come back. Decided to come back to LA.
But you had already learned everything?
I learned everything. And he had paid me some money because I took care of the business for like 3 weeks. So when he came back, I'm like, hey, here's your business, here's everything.
So you managed it by yourself for 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Oh, shit.
It was nerve-breaking,
I bet, bro. Because it's not even your business.
No.
Yeah.
I had to pay employees, the meat, everything. And I never seen so much money before. So
And the funny part is this is pesos, not US dollars, right?
Both.
Oh,
shit. It's TJ.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you get dollars and pesos.
Dang, so my boy's balling out there. I mean, for his lifestyle.
Pretty much.
Damn. Yeah.
Because you don't really pay that much rent over there.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if you get cash money,
But the same thing, insecurity, it's out there. So you have to lay low.
Oh.
You have to be laying low, super lay low.
And más en un ciudad como Tijuana.
Yeah, you have to be driving beat up trucks. It's just scary.
You literally just gotta, como dicen, you gotta be the millionaire in the 99 Accord,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretending.
Wow. So allá nomás por verte, bien vestido, lo que sea.
In a nice truck, hey, you know what? That's a reason to.
Yeah, that's how it is in Zacatecas. But like I said, I mentioned to you we're from Aguascalientes, so once you get out of Aguascalientes, that's when all the danger starts. Yeah, pretty much all the outskirts. So Zacatecas, San Luis Potosí, Guanajuato, and then Jalisco. Like if you start going to the outskirts of Aguascalientes, towards those states, oh yeah, it gets pretty ugly.
I bet.
Yeah, it gets pretty ugly, man. But so you come back to LA, and did you just automatically start selling? Were you selling out of your house or?
So, no, none of that stuff.
Oh.
None of that stuff. It was kind of depressing. I was still depressed because you come back with no money. Well, I had some money, but I've been gone. I'm the oldest of four, so my siblings would look at me like, "Hey, you're a freaking loser. You're broke," and
I don't want to say the double V word, but you know what I mean.
right.
Yeah.
So I started walking to church. I started walking to church, asked for God's help, I asked for God's guidance. I started walking to the library. I would read books. I would rent the CDs back then, the audios.
What year is this?
This is 2016,
Okay.
a couple years ago.
Damn, and it's funny. I think I was saying I remember you from 2016. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So then it's probably just because that's probably the year I really started going out then. But anyways, so then you start getting closer to your religion. You start reading books again. Where did it spark?
So I had all this anger dragging me down. Like I had anger towards my dad because I was blaming my dad for he left us. I was blaming my ex for being depressed. I was just blaming everybody until I took responsibility.
That's right.
And I went to church and I forgave my ex, forgave my dad, forgave people that hurted me. And then they said, "You know what, Teddy? The biggest person you need to forgive is yourself." So I looked myself in the mirror and I cried and I forgave myself because I thought I was a loser because I didn't have this, because for what I'm this age and compared to my friends, they have a job, they have a house, they're married, they have kids, and I have nothing.
And how old were you? You were early 30s still.
Well, this is 2016, right? It's
2024, 8 years.
8 years ago. I was
31.
31. So, at least,
Damn.
so imagine you're broke. You just came back from TJ. You're listening to all this criticism, this chismes, like, "Hey, Teddy, what's wrong with you?"
Yeah, mostly at that age, right? It's
Yeah.
like people are really talking shit.
Teddy, people are trying to go to the United States. You're going to TJ?
Damn.
Like, imagine.
Yeah, and then you're already dealing with depression. You're dealing with shit from everyone.
At home,
Fuck.
that I'm not contributing to rent. My little brothers, my friends that had to step away from it, literally everyone, because, "Hey, where's the baby? Hey, when did I meet the baby?" So all that, I had to step away from that. So it was very stressful. It was very challenging, right? So when I went to church, I asked God, "Hey, well, you know what? Now that I'm here, what do you want from me?" And something happened, but it said, "You know what? Well, you have this recipe. Let's see what you can do about it." So you know what? I have this recipe. I got excited about it. I got super excited. I never been in the kitchen of a restaurant working because in Tijuana it's a taqueria, so it's not a restaurant. It's only like
La estufa.
a room, a
Yeah,
stufa, and
facts.
a blender, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple.
Pásale.
So I said, "You know what? I have this recipe.
Yeah.
What do I have to lose?" And then all this positive affirmations started kicking in. All these great books, and then I had my iPod with my earphones and listening to audios. It's possible. Yes, you can make it happen. Yes, don't give up. Yes. I started believing myself. Hey, what if it works? What if, and I started just get this. I started tricking myself. Hey, what if it works? What if it's possible? What if? And I just got so excited about it. So excited.
At that point, was anyone saying, "Nah, estás loco, way"?
Oh yeah, everybody. From my mom to friends and
So they went from "you're a loser," "you're this, you're that," to they start seeing some type of change, and it's no, ya estás loco.
mm-hmm.
So then, did the depression come back, or how did you combat that negative energy?
So you have to get busy, right? So I convinced my mom to help me get a car, and I was driving. I started driving for Uber, for Lyft, and I was putting a whole bunch of hours, especially because I needed the money, and I was driving a lot just to get away, right?
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool because I was listening to the radio for the
For the people.
for the people. But in my other ear, I was listening to all the audios, like the Tony Robbins, the Jim Rome, the Six Ziglar, the Napoleon Hills, the Jack Canfields, the Love Attraction, all this stuff that I was listening to on a daily basis. It just, it just fueled me up. So I was literally a walking positive
Person.
positive person.
So if I got in your car, like, hey man, how you doing good today?
Yes,
Yeah.
because you know what, you want to get the 5 stars. You want, like
You're down there giving motivational speeches to the guys in your car, huh?
literally.
Yeah.
Right? And then little by little, I started cooking. I started buying my blender, my little ollita, and I was excited for this new process. So I started giving free samples to my friends, to neighbors, and everybody was like, "Wow, Teddy, this is pretty good. You should start studying it."
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, I have no idea.
So you were just giving out free plates.
I was just giving like samples, like because I never cooked before.
So what you like? If I was your friend at that time, you'd be like, "Hey Mario, ¿quieres un plato?" Or how were you doing it at that time?
Yeah, if you're like my neighbor, like, hey, you know what? Hey, tengo un taco, pruébalo. Let me know what you think about it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to know people's feedback.
No, go ahead.
Because the crazy thing is, in TJ, I learned how to cook huge quantities, huge. Like the ollas.
Yeah, the
like
ollas are
super big. Blender were super big.
where you damn near have a shovel.
Literally.
Yeah.
And here, the ollita was a little ollita.
Yeah.
The little blender. So how do you make all that
Volume.
transformation, like from a lot to little?
Mm.
I didn't know. And my friend couldn't come to TJ. I mean, he couldn't come from TJ to LA.
Oh, yeah.
And then I wasn't going as much to TJ because I was trying to build up
the business. Yeah.
My business here. So I started doing that. And one of my friends, she said, Teddy, why don't you start selling your tacos in my fábrica? I have a fábrica de costura.
Yeah.
So people don't know what that means. It's sewing factory.
Yeah.
In LA, South Central. And she's like, I have like 60 workers. I said, okay, cool. And I got super excited. I told my mom about it. Like, hey, mom, help me out. And we went. And I thought it was going to be amazing because 60 people, I came up with this idea of a plate, 3 tacos, and un caldito for $5.
De consume.
Es puro caldito.
Oh, okay.
3 tacos, un caldo, unlimited tostadas, and unlimited caldo for $5. That was my special.
Yeah.
Right? To my disgrace, to my good luck, none of them purchased tacos. None of the employees.
Okay.
They were me. They came from other puestos, and boom, they would put their pozole there and start eating. And my mom would be like, damn, what are we gonna do?
And your table too.
Yeah, like we're like it was their break room.
Oh, okay.
And we had I had a taco stand.
Oh, okay.
I got a little taco stand.
Yeah.
But people were like they were
eating their own food. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? When bad things happen, we tend to get discouraged.
Yes.
Oh man, it was a bad idea, and we just wasted all this money, all this food. What are we gonna do? But when bad things happen, sometimes I see them as opportunities.
Yeah.
So that's how I saw it. So I told my mom, you know what? Let's make some videos. Make some videos, and so that gave me time to start doing different kind of things.
Mm.
What does that mean? If maybe that wouldn't happen, I would maybe settle. Oh, you know what? Everybody bought. That was good. That's great.
I'm just gonna stick here.
Yeah. But because that happened, I had to innovate.
Yes.
So I had to start doing other different kind of marketing, you could say, without even knowing it was marketing. So what I did is I started spamming everybody with my videos.
In what way?
Facebook. I would put a video
and send it to their messenger.
Who's this? I'll go through my messages, through my contacts, and like, who's this guy? Here you get, I'll send him a video.
I fuck with it. That's, yeah.
I'll send him a video. Hey, come try the best birria tacos at Teddy's Red Tacos. We're located at 5932 Paloma Avenue. I'll send them like a video.
Como invitación, pues.
And then a flyer with the information.
Nice.
And that got me excited because people started literally showing up. People started showing up. And after that, I would put the stuff in the trunk of the car, and I'll start driving for Uber, right? Because I wasn't really selling that much, so it was like a little ollita, and I'll put everything in the trunk.
No, I just think that's risky. Like run wrong, you have to turn or something, swerve. It's
Well,
like
it was a little ollita, and you
oh,
put it in a
okay.
box,
Oh, okay.
put it nice and
Yeah,
tight.
I was just imagining like lo que pasa en Mexico when they put the pozole
Oh,
and shit.
well, that's a big. That's
You
a
know what I'm
big,
talking about,
oh
right?
yeah.
And they be driving and it'll spill or something.
So I made it my goal to drive the whole week. Drive the whole week, and anybody that I will be able to meet, I will invite them to my taco stand. So the whole week I will just promote. On the weekend, just sell, and then do it again, do it again.
Nice.
So that was my
The
goal.
system, yeah.
Sending everybody. Then maybe Thursday I will start sending the flyers. Hey, Saturday, come to Teddy's. I'll start sending everybody the flyers, and it started working. I started working. That it worked so good that 9 months later, I was able to purchase my first food truck.
And 9 months.
Yeah.
And damn.
And check it out. No, but it wasn't like a nice truck. It was a beat up truck.
But that's still, bro. People take 3 years to get a truck. I feel like maybe
But
even 2 years.
But you know what's crazy, Mario? People were telling me, even family, and they were like somehow successful.
Yeah.
They would tell me, Teddy, like, what's your hurry? Come down. You only been in business a couple months.
Facts. Yeah.
You know, relax. And I'm like, what do you mean relax? I'm broke. I can't be relaxed. I need to step it up. I'm broke. I'm over 30 years old and I'm broke. I can't be relaxing right now. I need to step it up.
I was on the same boat.
So that was my attitude. So I wouldn't be listening to
Negativity.
SoCal successful people telling me to slow down. You know, I need to step up.
I would say too, I think you weren't listening to them because they weren't where you wanted to be at.
That too.
You know, porque yo tengo ese costumbre también, like, for example, if you try giving me marital advice and you're not married, do you really think I'm going to take your advice?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like things like that, bro. And I think that's probably maybe at that time you weren't thinking that, but it was like an unconscious thing. Is like, bro, you're not what I want to be. Like I can't take your advice right now. You know? And I have to relate to you on that one, bro, because when I started working a lot, oh, mijo, no todo es de trabajo. Like, take a day off. Oh, it's domingo. ¿Por qué estás trabajando en domingo? Oh man, that one right there, man. I even made a whole episode. Like, I want to make an episode. It's like, why do we believe in not working in Sundays, right? I mean, it has to do with religious things, but what I'm saying is, like, when you're on that journey, you got to take those sacrifices, man.
Right.
Yeah. So what are some of the top sacrifices you made once Teddy started growing when you got that first truck?
So, okay, so this check it out. It's a pretty crazy story because my friend, his name is Blas, said, Teddy, you know what? He asked me, how do you see yourself in business? And I told him, you know, I want to grow. I want to get my food truck. I want to get my restaurant. I don't know, but I want to grow because people love the food. So it makes me happy knowing that they took a bite of it and they're smiling, especially when they were skeptical.
Yeah.
They were negative. That makes me so happy. So he said, well, Teddy, I got a truck that I'm going to sell. Come up with $15,000 and keep paying it. The truck is worth $55,000. And back then, $15,000 was a lot of money for me. A lot.
That is, I mean, I feel like that's a lot of money for a lot of people.
You know, especially when I was negative. You know, my bank accounts were, they were negative. I was in collections because I owe people a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, but I said, you know what, this is a great opportunity, and I don't want to let it go. So what do? Do you let your current circumstances, because technically, well, if you don't have money, you can't go in business, right? You can't.
Yeah, so called.
You have no credit, you have no loans, you don't have no rich parents, no one to support you. Oh, sorry, I don't have. We tend to close our minds. So
oh yeah, right away.
But I said, you know what, deal, with no money in my bank account, nothing, right? I made a deal.
So how'd you get the 15?
I said, well, $15,000. Who do I know? Can I talk to 15 friends? Can I borrow $1,000?
Maybe.
You know. $500, 30 friends. I think it's possible. Let's knock on some doors. Let's get excited. Let's do this. And when you're excited about your dreams and goals, people tend to
help you.
to support you once they know you're committed, you're serious about it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happened.
What do you say to those people that are afraid to ask?
Don't be.
Because I was on that same boat one time, bro. When I was taking my business to a larger scale, I went to my parents. I even went to my girlfriend. It's like, hey, like I have this idea. This is what we're gonna do, and this is how we're gonna expand. Unfortunately, because of like the Ukraine war and economical standpoints, gas went up and stuff like that, and a lot of people, because detailing is a luxury. It's not a necessity. Only people that hire you are people that have disposable income. Right? Because it's different from car wash and detailing. Right? So that's when I started realizing, damn, I just expanded and the calls aren't the same. The volume wasn't the same. But that's for another story. I want to know, so you pretty much got money, you made it happen, you took a risk on yourself. What was your mindset at that point now?
So my product gave me the certainty. How do you say? La confianza.
Yeah.
Mi producto me dio la confianza.
Gave you confidence.
Totally. You know why? Because more and more people were showing up.
Yeah.
Every week. And I'm saying, you know what? I'm in a hidden spot in LA. I'm not in the street. I'm behind a warehouse, and people are coming. So what if I put myself in the street? It's going to be even better.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I went for it and got the truck and put it in the railroads in Slauson. People that know, they know.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right in the hood, right?
Yeah, literally.
And especially, I got a couple of spots in mind, but the truck was so beat up that it couldn't drive that far.
Oh.
So that's that's the main reason that I would park at night across the street, and during the day I would just park it.
Is that puesto still there?
Yes.
I think I've seen it before.
We're not in the railroads anymore like before.
Yeah.
We're next to it.
Okay.
Because they're fixing the streets.
Yeah. No, there's construction going on over there.
Correct.
Yeah, that's isn't that over there by where like Nipsey's from?
Yes.
Like that area, right?
Street,
yeah.
Slauson.
Okay. So then you post up, you get in the hood. What happens? Is it the same volume? More people come in, or did it just go down for a couple months?
It went down. It went down because I think once you hit a different plateau business in life, a whole different barrier.
Yes.
A taco stand is one thing, but now a food truck, a whole different thing. And especially because people would say, "Hey, well, thanks to me, you got the truck." Customers, like our regulars. Oh, thanks to me, you got the truck. And
the entitlement.
Yes. And then I deleted that promotion, the $5 tacos. I deleted it and came up with a new concept.
Which was?
I came up with the idea of the deluxe plate. It came with 4 items in a plate: a taco, a molita, a tostadita, and a little quesadilla, con un caldito, chips and salsa. And back then it was only $10.
And you were on Instagram back then. Yeah, I remember that. Actually, I think that's when I first started like knowing who you were. Yeah. You would be showing off, and people would go. I think you had influencers or just people that would just repost you a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
But check it out. People wouldn't repost me because it was Teddy's. Back then it was just another truck, a beat up truck in the hood.
Really? Because I felt like I remember seeing your videos.
Right, but how do we made it from a taco stand to the videos? It's a process too.
Okay.
And I want to take this time to share with you guys because people are like, "Oh, Teddy, you got lucky. Oh, Teddy's."
Oh, hell no.
But it wasn't like that.
Hell no.
Because people would come to the truck and it was just a white truck with a banner that says Teddy's Red Tacos. The banner. Teddy's Red Tacos, birria, estilo Tijuana. And I remember this incident, this guy, older guy, maybe in his 50s, 60s, Mexican. Ay, quiero unos tacos de asada. Oh, disculpe, jefe, no vendemos tacos de asada. Ah, pues dame un burrito de pollo. Ah, disculpe, jefe, no vendemos burritos. Ah, ¿qué chingados venden? Le digo, vendemos birria. Dice, ok, dame una birria, pero en plato con tortillas a mano. de chivo. Disculpe, jefe, no vendemos birria de chivo y no la vendemos así en plato. Ok. Digo, permítame, le voy a dar una prueba gratis. Let me give you a free sample. So I turned his negativity something positive. I didn't allow his negativity to influence me or to bring me down.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Let me give you a taco y un caldito. Si le gusta, bien. Si no, no lo tienen que pagar. It's on me. Lo probó y dip it. Oye, está buena esta madre.
The reaction.
Está bueno. Vieja, gente. Dame 4 y 4 y 2 calditos.
That's some real Mexican interaction right there. That's a LA Mexican interaction right there.
So I switched that, so I literally gained customers from doing those kind of things.
Wow.
And then, you know what? I always wanted to talk to people. So I will be in the food truck with my door open, and I had tape. Let's say the truck is facing this way.
Okay.
The door was open, and I had my tables facing. I could see them, and they could see me.
Okay. So, like, if you peeked.
Yeah, I'm here, like, working like this,
yeah.
But they can see me. Hey, más tacos. Okay, ¿cuántos? Okay, ahorita lo llevo.
Oh, that's even better.
Back then, I used to work like that.
And I was going to say, that's how taquerias in Mexico become successful, because you can talk to, like, hey, quiero dos más. And then they're bringing it to you. Yeah.
O más doraditos.
Yeah.
O así. O más salsita, ponle más salsita. Okay. ¿Quieres caldito extra? Okay. So I would spoil them, right? And I remember this guy one time came. He ordered some tacos. He was sitting, and he was just with his camera taking pictures. And you know what? Let me go talk to this guy. I'm like, who is this guy? I wanted to, like, sincerely know who this guy is. Why is he doing that? Why? Why would you go to the hood and take pictures of just a random
food?
plate?
Yeah, I don't know. I would have thought health inspector.
Well, I was freaking out for that too.
Yeah.
That's a whole different subject.
I know. I used to work at restaurants, so I know.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to prepare, or they come at you. Hey, he's here. Go ahead, man.
So I met this guy. His name is Oscar. He became pretty cool. He's telling me, you know what? I just like going to places and taking pictures. Food. Okay, cool. So we chopped it up, became friends. And a couple of days later, this other girls showed up, right? And I have no idea who they are. And I greeted them like, hey guys, welcome to Teddy's Red Tacos. I try to greet people with a big smile and, hi guys, welcome to Teddy's Red Tacos.
Good energy, yeah.
And thank you guys for stopping by. Welcome to Teddy's Red Tacos, and thank you for stopping by. That was my attitude. So the girls were eating. Once you're done, they're like, hey Teddy, can we get your information? I said, sure. You know what? I want to put you in the radio with Ryan Seacrest. You know, I love your service. I love your food, but I love your service. You treat us like a 5-star restaurant.
Wow. And
can we tag you on Instagram and stuff? And sure. So,
were you excited at this point because you already knew what might come, or
no? I was just like laser focused. I was just focused, right? And I have no idea who they were. Once they started tagging me, I started getting all these followers, and what's going on? I didn't know who she was until then, and it turned out it was Patty Rodriguez. She used to work for Ryan Seacrest, right? And another angel in disguise, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Because she got my info. A couple of days later, she called me like, hey, you know what? I had great news for you. I got Ryan on the line. And so I'm talking to Ryan Seacrest on the phone, right? And he's like, hey, Teddy, I heard you got some great tacos. He's just 30 seconds of fame. Take it away. I'm like, hey, guys, it's Teddy from Teddy's Red Tacos. We're located at 731 East Lawson. Come try the best birria tacos ever. That's it. That's all I said.
Shit.
And Ryan's like, you heard that, guys. Go flip the truck around. Tell them that Ryan Seacrest sent you, right? So after that, all these people started showing up.
Wow.
And the press, the what's it called, the articles, and it was pretty cool, right? Because I was naturally excited, and with this, it gave the business another boost,
another credibility boost.
But for this, it took a lot of months because this happened back in 2018, I think 2019.
So it took nine months, and then it probably took a
So
year and a half or so.
July 2017, when I opened the food truck, it was dead.
Oh wow! And then
It-
until your angel came.
because I remember I had to borrow money to stay in business. That July, and I mean that the end of like November, December, it was super slow. So in order to stay in business, I had to go get money with high interest, hard money loan.
So damn, that's crazy. So you had to borrow money for the truck, and then when you have the truck, it slows down, and you have to borrow more money.
Yeah, with high interest, like 10%.
Wow! And then you already have your collections
Everything,
and all.
everything.
Teddy. Oh my, bro! I'm just trying to imagine myself in that position, and yet you're still laser focused.
And not only that, and my mom is out there bitching at me like, "Hey, Teddy, you need to get a real job. You know what? I don't have money to be paying bills and we pay rent," because my mom would help me out, but she will go and she will sell. She had a minivan. She would go in downtown and buy like socks, underwears, and she will sell it like door to door.
Mm-hmm.
And she would help me out with that. So it was tough, man. It was
Well,
tough.
no, I'm just trying to understand how you even were able to stay laser focused during that time. What was keeping you motivated? Like, because think about it, bro. You're already in debt. You get yourself more in debt, and then you have to get yourself once again more in debt. And then at the same time, you're dealing with a lot of negative energy from the people that you love and care about. And you kind of came out of this depression phase. I'm just surprised you didn't fall back into it.
Well, something good that fuel all that. I had a lot of maybe a lot of motivation and maybe anger. I had a lot of people to prove wrong.
That's right.
So when I was in my taco stand, a lot of friends and family made fun of me.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, "Oh, you know what? I handle Teddy." Excuse my language. Valiendo madres. Ahora ya vende tacos el güey. Like, oh, ahí anda, pues. All right. So I was like, all right, cool. And that's when I made a decision. And I put it out there. You know what? I want to be famous. I want my birria to be known everywhere.
That's right.
When I was there broke. And I saw myself helping. I saw myself giving. I saw myself being wealthy, being successful when I was there broke. And you know what? Now I say I'm a living testimony of everything that has happened. Because I manifested it a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I attracted all that stuff.
Hell yeah.
I attracted it, and I'm like, wow. But I've been focused. I've been happy. I've been grateful. And I'm not focusing on my neighbor's grass. I'm watering my grass on a daily basis.
And that's what our community needs to freaking do.
I'm not focusing on what's my competition doing. Nothing.
That's right.
I'm focused. What can I do better?
It's you versus you every day. So you get your first truck, you blow up after Ryan Seacrest. When does the second truck or second location come along?
So before the second truck, we're blowing up on social media. We're getting all these followers, and then when did this happen? Second truck. I don't.
Well, you had to pay the debt off, right? Or you didn't, or you stayed in debt.
No. I was paying off debt.
No, but I'm saying like by the second truck, did you already pay off your debt, or were you still did you still have that debt?
By the second truck, I think I was already good.
Okay.
I had paid off my debt. I had already paid off the first food truck.
So it was a sign of relief, and you're pretty much good now.
Yes, you can say, but I was still focused, and it's crazy because, so we came to Chris. I mean, we came on the radio, and then we get a message from a representative, Chrissy Teigen. I don't know if you heard about her.
No.
She's like a model and very famous. She has millions of followers on Instagram. And she's married to this famous singer. And they reach out to us. They wanted a catering in Beverly Hills.
Oh, right? Wow.
And said, okay, let's do it, right? And, in the beginning I said, you had a beat-up truck. Well, we still have it's a beat-up truck, right?
Yeah.
So we took it to Beverly Hills. and it's up in the hills, like super up in the hills. And this truck's so beat up that it barely made it up. You know, it barely was. It was like making these weird noises. It was, and I was like,
And Teddy's like, what? Like,
I was praying. I think I prayed so much that day. I was sweating. I was like, all these weird smells of the truck.
it smells like gas.
Yes, it was bad. And I was just like, you know what? Let's just help me just make it. I don't care if the truck breaks down as soon as we get there. I don't care, but let me just make it, right? So we made it like 30 minutes late though.
Yeah.
But it didn't. They were late too because they were like recording something. So it was like
It was perfect.
It was
yeah.
perfect time. So we made it. We set up the whole thing, and came up with this idea. And I said, you know what? I want a picture with her, Chrissy Teigen. I came up with the idea of saying, you know what? Tell Chrissy that I won't charge her anything for the event if she posts me on her social media and takes a picture with me. That's all I said. I want a picture and I want her to post me.
But did you think you had that mindset because of Ryan Seacrest and what he did for you?
No. I'm just saying, you know what? Just thinking outside the box.
Mm.
Going back to your question, like, hey, why are people afraid? Shouldn't be afraid. Because sometimes, you know what? Yes, we're afraid of asking because we don't want to seem dumb.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, you know what? I don't want people to think I'm dumb. Or what is he or she going to think if I ask him for that?
Yeah.
But you know what? If you ask, even in the Bible says, if you ask,
you will receive.
You will receive. If you knock, someone should answer. But we just have to have faith and we have to believe.
Yeah.
But we're so like concerned. Oh, what if this happens? What if, no, what if, you just go out there and ask for it.
Yeah. You know what I believe, Teddy, that I'd like to share with you? Closed mouths don't eat.
There you go. But you have to be willing to, step outside the box, get out of your comfort zone and get excited. And people do want to help, but you have to be willing to ask.
Yeah.
Be willing to pay the price too.
Yeah, man. Damn. So from that day to now, how do you feel about the business? Where do you see yourself? Do you feel successful? What's your modern day?
Oh, now?
Yeah.
Well, now it's a little bit different because I still wake up and I look back and wow, this is amazing.
Like this is really real life.
This is amazing because a couple of years ago, I was driving a beat up bucket. I was staying in East LA with my mom, trying to make ends meet, and now it's a whole different story, right? And I share this not to impress upon you guys, but to impress upon if you get yourself serious, if you decide to pay the price long enough until great things can happen. But you have to be willing to get excited, get out of your comfort zone, be willing to ask, be willing to read a book, to sit down and read a book and meditate and on the book, on the audios, and read and listen to biographies of successful people that made it. And you're like, what was their excuse? What's my excuse? Like I have friends I have family here that started taquerias back in 30, 40 years ago, right? So when I was trying to start Teddy's, I have all these excuses. I don't know how to cook. I don't have a restaurant. I don't have a wife to help me. I don't have all this negative stuff, right? And I would say, well, what's good about this? Okay, we'll have a good recipe. And then once you start reading about people that made it, it helped me because, like, you know what? I know my tios have a taqueria and they're pretty good. And I started asking myself, what was their excuse back then? 20, 30, 40 years ago. What was their excuse? And I'm like, you know what? They made no excuses. They made it happen. Think about it. All the people that's been here before, they came to, let's say, from anywhere in the world. No money. They didn't know the language. They didn't know any context. We didn't have social media. We didn't have a phone. And they still made it happen.
Yep. That drive and hunger.
So what's our excuse?
There's none.
We don't want it bad enough.
True.
That's our excuse. Like, we don't want it bad enough. Oh, good. Oh, you know what? This is cool. I know you have to be willing to, I want it, I need it, and I'm going to go for it.
Comfort is man's biggest
The enemy.
yeah,
Biggest enemy.
biggest enemy, man. And I think I have to agree with you, bro. I always talk on the podcast about getting out of your comfort zone and just going out there and killing it, man. And I feel like you had to go through a lot to like really see that, man. Like your story is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Now now that you do have this and you do think this way, what would you say to your younger self? Like, what would you say to that person that was driving that bucket, that is in debt, that is has that laser focus sometimes, but it's dealing with the battles, the mental battles. You know, mental battles I'm talking about, where you're like, bro, is this really gonna help? Is this? I mean, like, is this really gonna happen? Is this really gonna help? Is this really gonna grow my business? Am I doing the right things? You know?
For a lot of years, I asked myself those questions. I was in my 30s and I was still broke, early 30s. And I was comparing myself with other people. I was comparing myself with my friends, with my cousins, with my coworkers.
Do you think that comes from our culture? That mindset of comparison.
It's just in general, yeah.
You think like it's a Mexican, like a Latino
Yeah,
thing?
maybe, yeah, because especially for Latinos, like 25, you should be married, supporting your parents, all this kind of stuff, right? And if you don't have that, you're like, oh, like, am I a
Like, what are
loser?
you doing? Yeah,
Am I a loser? Am I this? But you know what? Things have changed. Times are different. Times are very, very different from our parents.
yeah,
Even just 10 years ago, things are super different. So the world is evolving constantly, especially now with technology. It's so different now. But at the same time, it's so easy to make business now.
yeah. No, definitely. I think social media is the biggest tool.
But it's good and bad
In what way is it bad?
because you can use it to promote your business or you can use it to waste time.
True.
So it's in that way, and it's also, I believe it's a sword of two edges, una espada de doble filo.
Yeah,
If you have something good going on, it will promote.
yeah.
But if you have something bad going on, it will expose you. So it's good and bad too.
You're right.
Let's see if you're
You're
like
right.
full of it, sooner or later you're gonna get exposed.
True. That is very true. If you're not really about what you say, yeah, you're
but
right.
if you're like you have something good going on, okay, it's been years, and it's gonna promote you.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, like there's a lot of birrias out there.
Oh, definitely. Mostly during your time when you started, I remember there was a lot. I think Virria started being a really big thing in LA. No.
Yeah, well, I came out on TV when I came on the Super Bowl saying, "Hey, it's possible. You can do it too."
Oh.
But I came out saying, "You can do it." Like me, you can do your dreams.
Yeah.
Not my dreams.
No, because I do remember there was a point in time, bro. I think mostly during COVID, where Virria was just like popping up everywhere, bro. Like there was a puesto like in every damn corner.
Yeah.
So let me. Teddy's the one that started that.
Well, came in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
like,
I'm just laughing because of the fact that it's like he knows. He's like, man, after that came out, I started seeing all these puestos. But you know what's funny, bro? I have realized that when you do say you could do it too, some people do take it that way. Like saying, like, what I'm doing, you could do too. But in reality, no, it's just a dream. Like, it's not, the message wasn't perceived the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, but I do remember that, Megan, because, like, I know there was, like, they'd have grand openings, birria. And you're like, bro, there's too much. I'm like, God dang, like, there's too much birria. It's like back then with fried chicken. Like, fried chicken started popping, becoming a thing, and fried chicken here, fried chicken there, and you're like, what?
Where are they?
Now? I mean, they're still business, but it's not the same.
You
Not the same. And I think birria is something that's always consistent. I do have a really, really good question for you. How do you feel when you see different ethnic groups at your restaurant?
That's a great question because going back to the first food truck, and after the Super Bowl, after the Ryan Seacrest radio commercial that we came out on, all these people started showing up. And I remember we had a table with these people, humble people from Mexico. I think they said from Oaxaca. Very humble people.
Yeah.
They were eating there. And they had like 6 tables. And everybody was like Asians, white people, black people, all different kind of people. And they were like, I remember their face were just, where are we? Because they were the only Mexicans eating in South Central, and everybody else was from different
Areas.
areas, right? And for me to be able to be people from different kind of cultures, for me, it's a humbling experience. For me, it's a blessing, and I'm beyond grateful for my customers. As I learned something, TJ, and this is pretty cool too. Don't try to be a copy of somebody else. Be your own style. Not because someone's successful, you want to. Well, people are doing it, but people can do whatever they want. But I chose to be different. I chose to be better.
I think it's just being yourself, bro. You can't be a copy and paste because a copy and paste only lasts for so long. Right. That's what I always believe. It's like if I try to be a Teddy's, I'm only gonna survive for so long until I'm done, because it's like, well, everyone's gonna want to go to the original.
Because you have to be seeing, okay, what's Teddy's doing now, so you can do it.
Yeah, it's all about adapting and pivoting. But typically, when you are a copy and paste, you're thinking about the times the times you remember. You're not thinking about what he's doing now and how he's adapting and pivoting in today's day and age. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. We go through a lot of challenges. I think God puts us through a lot of things to see how bad you want it. Like let me see how bad you want it. You want to be successful? Okay, let me prove to me how bad you want it.
True.
So when you're going through that process, you can't lose enthusiasm, you can't lose focus, you can't lose excitement, you can't lose none of that stuff. Because listen, this is how I perceive life. Your goals have to be so big.
Bigger than you.
So big. So let's say this is your goals, right? This is you here, right? So your goals have to like pull you up instead of like, you know what? I'm good. You know what? Like you said, I don't really want that house for my parents. Were you serious or are you just joking?
No, I'm serious.
So your goals have to, you know what? I do wake up early, stay up late. The next day, the same thing. You're tired.
What you're trying to say, and they need to haunt you.
Yeah, you have to get it.
Like the only thing on your mind should be trying to do that, perceive that, and the only type of depression you should have is you not achieving your goals in a sense.
Well, not depression because I know it's a process. Because you know what, we want success so bad. We want it to be now. You know what?
Instant gratification.
Yes, success is not like that.
No.
Success, it's you have to become the person.
Yeah.
You have to become successful, right?
Yeah.
Confused there.
No. I'm not confused. I was gonna relate it to 75 Hard. I'm not sure if you ever heard of that program.
No.
Yeah. So 75 Hard is like working. It's pretty much like like a workout program, but it's not for losing weight. It's for mental toughness. Okay. So you read it's by Andy Frisella. You should look him up. He has a podcast also. He wrote a book about his program on 75 Hard, where you pretty much work out, you drink a gallon of water, you read, same thing, everything you did, personal development, but you're working out. Mm-hmm. The whole point of working out is so that you could see, like, how if you work out for 75 days straight, how are you gonna end up looking? And then you're eating right and doing all the things you're supposed to do to get to that point.
Right.
So the whole point of 75 Hard is for you to get to that point, do the things you don't want to do, like work out every day. Read a book every day. Eat healthy every day. You don't want to do that every day. You're going to get tired of it, right? But if you could maintain yourself doing it for 75 days, you come out a brand new person. You come out with a brand new mentality, a brand new outlook in life, right? The same way how you told me how I went from, I don't want to work. I don't want to. I'm comfortable to where I'm a killer. I'm going to go get it. My dreams are bigger than ever. So 75 Hard is supposed to like get someone that doesn't have any type of motivation to do it, put themselves through that struggle of just working out, and then relating that the struggle of working out with business and understanding what it takes to become successful. See what I'm saying? Yeah. You should really look into that, bro. They have a book. It's called 75 Hard.
Okay.
I'll send you some of that info though. But you should look into it. I mean, because he's always promoting it for entrepreneurs like you and I, like people that already have businesses or people that are already doing things. So that way you could become a little bit better, or maybe you could take that next level.
Right.
See what I'm saying? It's 75 Hard, bro. You could do it at the beginning of your journey, middle of your journey, or even when you're at the top and you're trying to get to a new top. You know what I'm saying? But what's next for Teddy's, man? Where do you see yourself in the next 6 months and 5 years?
That's a good question. So right now I'm just taking it step by step. Right now we're working on the company infrastructure so we can take it to a different level.
You're creating systems, replacing duplicating yourself, and then so that way you could kind of like focus on growth. Is that what you're trying to say? Duplicating yourself, as in like, okay, you used to used to be a manager role. Now you're training someone to take that role over for you.
Well, yes, we're pretty much just changing systems, making it better.
Okay, more efficient.
You can see Teddy's. If you haven't seen them lately, you're gonna see a lot of upgrades, a lot of great things coming for Teddy's.
That's right. So there's going to be an influx of investment in Teddy's, a different type of system going in there, something that's going to be more efficient for you then.
Correct.
Nice.
And just a whole different outlook for Teddy's.
Okay, so that's in the next short term, next 6 months.
You could say.
And
short term, 12 to 12 months.
Okay, yeah. And then where do you see yourself in 5 years though? That's the question to ask right there, bro.
So pretty much where I see myself is I want to inspire people. When people talk about Teddy's or see Teddy's or hear about my story, I want people to motivate themselves. Not motivate themselves, but meaning you could do it, I can do it. What's my excuse?
How do you feel you could create that culture for your restaurant?
For the restaurant?
That motivational culture.
That's a good question. Repeat your question again.
How can you create a motivational culture at your restaurant?
So I'm thinking maybe having like the attitude of gratitude, meaning that the thing that made us where we at, like in the beginning, like I said, you know what? I would greet people like, "Hey, welcome to Teddy's Red Tacos. Thank you for stopping by." Teddy's Red Tacos, just showing, being able to and wanting to go the extra mile for customer service, just doing things that differentiate you in a whole different way, and the culture when they hear about Teddy's is not that we got started for the money. Like obviously we want to put more banners, not banners, maybe some art or something in the restaurant that says the story.
Yeah,
how we got started.
That's what I was gonna say.
More of that.
I would say put some details too, like some quotes that you might have found inspiring, like with your pictures. Like, oh, un foto del puestecito, and then foto of the first truck, and like that way it's like a Catholic church when they're you know how you got the Jesus carrying the cross, and then it depicts the story. It'd be nice if you had a depiction of your story, but in between you have some quotes that you took from some of that personal development.
Yeah, something like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I just something that came straight to my head when you said I want my story to motivate, and I want my restaurant to motivate. But it's like, how can you create that culture, right? It's like when I go to tacos, I'm not trying to get motivated. I'm trying to get taco, But it's like, how can I go there and as I'm eating, I'm seeing, oh wow, right? Because it's like, I sometimes go to restaurants and you're eating and you see some of the stuff and you're like, oh what, like, oh that's the owner,
right?
Like you might not even know. Oh, Teddy was the guy that was giving you the tacos was the owner,
right?
And then they start learning your story and then they're like, oh my god, your story is amazing. I feel like that's the only way you can do it is pictures, details, right. Or just creating that culture, bro. Now, what kind of culture do you have with your employees?
What way?
Like, how do you motivate them? How do you keep them excited about working for Teddy's? How do you keep them every day like, hey, we're making the best birria tacos in LA?
Well, it's a bit challenging when you have multiple locations and when you have a lot of people, but pretty much each time we have a meeting, I'll sit down with my managers, with my employees, and I tell them, hey, you know what, guys? One of the things I like to say is, hey, you know what? I know everybody wants to have their own business. I know everybody wants to be their own boss, and that's great, and I respect that. But in the meantime, this is maybe a stepping stone to wherever you want to get, right? Teddy's is only a stepping stone from the people that are in high school, from the people that wash the dishes, and maybe you're like your 60s, Maybe it's a stepping stone, but in the meantime, let's do our best while we're here. Like maybe tomorrow you're not going to be here, but if you want to put your restaurant, a food truck, or whatever kind of business you want to do you want to hire people that steal from you?
No.
That lie to you?
Nope.
That are dishonest, that are like grumpy, so don't do those kind of things. Like this. Treat the business like if it was your business. And we've been able to have that kind of people. Obviously, in pandemic, it was tough because you had to settle for a lot of people that
they weren't the best.
Correct. So either what do you do then? Like, do you stay in business or do you fire them and close down your shop?
Nah, you adapt and pivot.
So you had to settle for a lot of people, and Obviously, the reviews went bad, and it was just a tough moment.
at that time.
Yes. So we try to change the culture, change that energy. That if somebody doesn't want to be here, you don't have to stay here.
That's
If
right.
you're not happy, that's fine. You can be unhappy somewhere else.
You could dip.
You know.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna stay in Teddy's, I want you to be happy.
That's right.
You know, be happy, get excited because, like that's how we got started.
Yeah.
I ask you guys to do the same thing.
That's right, man. No, I like it, bro. And I think with culture of employees and customers, I think that's big in the restaurant business. It's actually the first time I had a restaurant owner. You're the first restaurant owner on our podcast. So I think for a restaurant to be successful, it's all about the culture, the vibe, and everything of that restaurant. That's what attracts people to your restaurant, and that's actually what made you successful.
Correct.
Was that vibe, was that energy, you know what I'm saying?
And also a good product as well.
Oh yeah, really good product, bro. I'm telling you, I've tried your tacos. But one more question before we wrap it all up, man. It has to do with your team and your employees. Do you try to push personal development on them? Do you try to make them like, hey, for you to get a little bit more motivated, like read this book, or hey, for you to understand where we're going, read this or try this out? Like, do you try to push some personal development to your top like gerentes or something like that to like help them be on the same page as you are?
I always share with people what I listen to, my audios, my books and stuff.
Okay.
But you can only, like I say, you can only lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink.
That's true.
So there's a lot of people that they're thirsty, but they're not willing to take some time and open a book.
Would you consider taking them to a conference or any type of like personal development event, like as a team?
Oh yeah,
that's nice. Yeah, I think that's something you need to do to
Yes.
become like to go to that next level is
Yes.
get everyone on that same page, everyone in that entrepreneur mindset. That's what people don't understand. There's two types of people. It's an entrepreneur, the one that starts a business, and then the entrepreneurs, the people that help you grow that business and grow with the business. Like, don't think they're not going to benefit from that. They're going to, I don't know, maybe sometimes they get stuck. I don't know, whatever it may be, But I think that's one thing that's important too. I wanted to touch on was the employees, just putting that personal development in them and making them into entrepreneurs to help you, the entrepreneur.
correct.
You know what I'm saying? But anyways, Teddy,
Well,
thank you for coming, bro. I'm really hurry. I'm really go ahead.
Thank you for the invite.
Oh yeah,
It's been a
always, man.
pleasure.
Yeah, and it's to me, bro. The story's amazing, right? And I think I could relate to some of your story, some parts of your story, because I'm still in that process of getting to my goals and achieving a lot of things that I want to achieve. But what really hit me was when you were like, "Oh, I imagine myself wealthy and giving back to people and doing this and that." Dude, I have that dreams like all the time. I'm always like, dude, when I have money, I want to do turkey drives. I want to do toy drives. Like, I want to be like the guy that are like, yes, he's successful, but he's always giving back or he's doing something for the community, Or like with me too, it's like since we push financial literacy, like I eventually want to have pamphlets, little like Latin Wealth Club pamphlets, where it's like, okay, we go to swap meets and we find, my dad's a paisa, so it's like you find paisas, right? They might not know about investing. They might not know about where to park their money or how to grow their money, right? We give out these pamphlets that are in Spanish or Spanish and English. So, I don't know if they take the extra time, whatever's in the Spanish one is exactly in English. Maybe they can learn a little bit more English. You know what I'm saying? But giving out these pamphlets of information on how to invest, how to save your money or budget ideas or stuff like that. I imagine myself doing all that to better our community, but it's like I get haunted by like, yo, I'm not there yet. I still need a lot more to do. And I'm like so laser focused. You know what I'm saying?
What are you doing right now on a day-to-day basis?
On a day-to-day
basis.
To achieve, I'm just working, bro. I'm just literally getting capital and investing in this because we don't make money from the podcast. Literally the podcast is like where I'm at, where you got your first truck. Is like I have some debt. I'm working. The debt's being paid off, but I'm also investing a lot in my podcast. It's like I'm not saving a lot of money or whatever, but it's like, to me, what my savings is my podcast, my goal, my product, my service, whatever you want to call it, right? My podcast is my motivation. And it's like sometimes like earlier this year, I was like, man, like if I quit the podcast, I'll have X amount more money. And I'm like, maybe I should just quit it. Like maybe, bro, just quit it. Like save up more money and then restart it, or and I'm like, nah, like we're already way too deep in. We're almost to that point. Like there's no way I could give up. And like, just like when you said that, bro, like casi se me rosaron los ojos, because I was like, fuck, bro, that's exactly what I want to do. You know, like I'm like, damn, like I just want to give back. That's my number one thing, bro. Like I want to have just freedom and the ability to give. Like that's one thing I didn't say when we were talking about success, but that's one thing, is freedom and the ability to give. That's all I want, man.
And it's a beautiful feeling.
Oh yeah.
But in the meantime, what are you doing to get there, to
just working, bro? I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping on my goal. So like, for example, this quarter, we talk about quarters, right? Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q3. We did a lot of good numbers. We were telling you about the progress, the process. We did double than what we did all of last year. You know what I'm saying? We beat last year by a lot. So now Q4, it's like, okay, I was telling Adrian here, we're gonna do 4 episodes a week. And then 4 episodes, solo episodes, all information, right? Right now, it's like we've got the elections coming up, so we're talking a lot about policies, right? And how that affects business, whatever. And then we're doing like, okay, best states to build wealth, best states for taxes, but like, just information out there for people that might want to move, maybe they want to see different options or whatever it may be. And then we're doing interviews to fill in that gap, right? So it's like now Q4, back then we're only doing 1 episode a week. Of my investing series and my podcast series, but now it's like we're doubling that, right? So now the goal is to do 52 episodes in Q4.
Wow.
Right, and keep in mind we first started with just 1 episode a week, so we're gonna do what we did in 1 year and 1 quarter. So if you wanted a direct answer, my boy, if you wanted the game plan, the blueprint, ahí está. Yeah, bro. So all of Q4, bro. If hopefully you're subscribed, you're gonna see us just uploads after uploads. Monday, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I got all confused.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're gonna be busy.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're gonna be recording, and then all the episodes are gonna come on the weekends.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to make it. My goal with this, bro, is to build the blog up, build the podcast channel up, and make it into a Latino entrepreneur media company, to where we're giving you financial and political news, so that way you're up to date with what's going on in the country, and then you're also getting your motivation and your knowledge from our series of podcasts, and then you're also hearing other people's stories that might come from your background, that might look like you, to motivate you. But everything's revolving around us being Hispanics, Latinos in America, and finding that success. And at the same time, like I said, I also want to do a program where if we have paisas that might have just came from Mexico, or people that just don't know the language, and don't understand the financial system, we could give them those financial literacy pamphlets. They could learn a little bit more.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Like I just want to give, bro. Like I just want to give knowledge. I just want to give knowledge, bro. And I think that just comes from like seeing how successful my family is in Mexico, and then they're high class, right? So it's like you see that and you're like, damn, bro, they live better than me. But it's like, okay, I want to be like that, but I want to do it here, and I want to do it at a bigger scale, and I want my company to be known for giving back also.
Correct.
So it's
I can totally relate with you, because I got cousins as well in Mexico. They're doctors and stuff.
Yeah.
And their lifestyle is different.
Oh, yeah.
But check it out. This is what I've learned. People that are in Mexico, they're good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the people that come to the U.S., they're not good.
They're not good.
And they have a different mentality.
Yes.
They have a different mindset.
Yes.
So it's a whole different culture.
So this mindset that I have, that I'm trying to share with people, is my mindset from Mexico. That's what people don't realize. All my whole thing is from what I've learned from my mom. I mean, I gotta be honest, Right. But I feel like it's my purpose in life to share and spread that message with people of how to become successful, of how to do all that. Because that responsibility and everything that we talk about personal development, my mom raised me with those morals and values. That's why I'm so hard on myself naturally, bro. I go to my all right. Do I look fat to you?
No.
I go to my mom's house. She tells me I gotta lose weight. Because why? Because back in high school, I was in the gym every day. I was ripped. I was, lean. And then with her, she's like, you're not even working out no more. You look bad.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? It's just that responsibility. And it's not, she doesn't do it in a bad way and negative. She's just like, mijo, you used to always be at the gym. What's wrong with you? Like, you're being lazy? And then I'll be like, well, mom, I got my goals I got to focus on. I'm working right now. She's like, yeah, but you never stopped working out. You're stopped right now. She's like, oh, and then she goes back. She brings it to high school. She's like, you were working 3 jobs back in high school and still going to the gym. What do you mean you can't do it right now? You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
good. That's a good motivation.
but that's why I love my mom, bro. And this knowledge that I have actually comes from her and her family down in Mexico. And again, that I know that people that come here are not good, but that's the reason why I want to give pamphlets out like that. So that way they come over here and their mentality starts to change. Their outlook starts to change. Now, maybe they might even get more ambitious. Oh, what? They have a CD account where I could lock up my money for a little bit, earn some interest, money that I might not need right now, stuff like that. Something that they never knew. Why? Because this information is only taught to us like American-born people. It's never taught to the immigrants. So I want to be that company that's like handing out informative pamphlets, handing out, helping the raza pretty much become more financial literate. So that way, if they are in that position of being tired of where they're at, there's some type of a spark, some type of entrepreneur spark that could probably be lit up in them.
Nice,
Nice. But yeah, man. Anyways, this is the end of the podcast. I just wanted to say, like I always say, all money in, no money out. Stay dedicated, stay motivated, and we'll see you on the next one, Lana Withcomb. Don't be a little bitch.